So this is it's called the Great Press of the 12th Act of the Buddha. This 12th Act of the Buddha, they said, author is a Tibetan, mostly we believe this is wrote by Nagarjuna, but when you look inside, there's some slight mistake. Then some say this shouldn't be Nagarjuna. So right now, we're not really exactly sure, because there's one ahead, there's one quote, which is at the beginning of the text. That is commonly said, wrote by Lord Jidusumgun. I think this is wrote by Jidusumgun completely, because Tibetan problems, sometimes we Jidusumgun we use as a second Nagarjuna. Okay, last time Jidusumgun name is called the second Nagarjuna, because Jidusumgun is the founder of this lineage, and he is a reincarnation of the Nagarjuna. That is pointed by the many, like Tara, and there's many signs show up. So maybe this is wrote by the Jidusumgun, because there's some mistake. Actually, this obviously because of the someone who haven't been in India and wrote this one, I think, because otherwise somebody Nagarjuna, someone like Nagarjuna, I don't think so will make that kind of mistake. So we will see later. I mean, we'll try to go through the little bit. And the press here said, you I shall praise, who first awaken the mind of enlightenment. This should be who first generate mind of awakening mind of enlightenment, because this is talking about the generating bodhicitta. Sounds like here this text is I don't know, for me it sounds like this is what he achieved in Buddhahood. Yeah, it's not. It's awakening mind of enlightenment is the name of the bodhicitta. So first he generated bodhicitta, because anyone first have to generate the bodhicitta to then follow through the path. Yeah, so generating bodhicitta is the making vow or commitment, saying I want to become a Buddha. You know, that vow is called the bodhicitta. So that way here is first awakening the mind of enlightenment, means first he generate the awakening mind of enlightenment. I think that's maybe better, generate. If then it's become bodhicitta. Then said, then after the generating bodhicitta, then he completely accumulation of merit of wisdom, complete accumulation, not just small, you know. So complete accumulation means the complete cause to realization of the emptiness, because the realization of the emptiness is the true accumulations. You know, like it's just like more you collect the firewood, stronger fire is. If firewood is a really tiny wood, you know, few tiny one, it's kind of come then gone, like a matches that is sticker. It's small, so that way it start fire but immediately gone. So there's not light, there's no heat and enough, and not you know, strong enough to can cook or burn or anything else. But that matches is a mix, many put together, and the many wood put together, then fires become so strong, even water cannot destroy it. Make sense? That is mean that even the obstacle cannot destroy that wisdom. So I have to be wisdom, have to generate merit enough to become a strong wisdom. Then that wisdom cannot be destroyed by the obscurations. So that way need a great accumulation. That reason is said he complete, you know, it means that accumulate the great one. Then now said now in this age, through the vast away of your action, have become the Lord and the protector of living beings. Now this degeneration age, you know, when 1000 Buddha first they generate the bodhicitta, they generate bodhicitta together, all together. Once they generate bodhicitta, they choose their land and time. Because Shakyamuni Buddha was the youngest one, so his time is come last. So all other Buddha chooses the better time. So nobody chose the degeneration time now. So Shakyamuni Buddha chose. He said, I will liberate the sentient beings during the degeneration time. So that reason Buddha chose this time. And Buddha was so kind that choose this time of degeneration. You know, why time of the degenerations they're not choosing is because the taming sentient being is really difficult. You can see ourselves. We know lots of Dharma, but and when it is working with our mind or not, it's really difficult to say. Yeah. So that way it's much harder to tame is during the degeneration time. So that way, I mean, nobody want to choose. Like a school teacher, if the kids are really difficult to teach, nobody want to go to teach there, you know. So we are similar like that, really naughty kids, high school kids. Homage to you who have taught the gods. So Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, before he was born on the earth, on this planet, he was in the Tushita. Tushita is one of the 6 desire god realms. There's a six different realms. One of those name is called the Tushita. And Tushita is the only god realm they have a Mahayana teachings. Now Buddha Midriya is teaching there. So after Shakyamuni, Buddha left in Midriya, become the teacher of that land. So before Midriya, Shakyamuni Buddha was teaching there. When he was teaching in the god realm of the Tushita, then knew the time had come to tame the human world. It means at that time, then Buddha see his time of pleasing, you know, because he pleased that he's going to tame the sentient being during the degeneration time. So his time come to see, you know, see, he saw the time to born in the human realm. So that way it's mean that come to time to tame the human world and descending from the God like a great elephant. So this means the Buddha's kind of intermediate is a kind of form of elephants, you know. So Buddha passed from the Tushita and reborn in the human realm, and when his conscious is transcending from the God realm to the human, and he come form of elephant. That is what his mother saw, and in the dream, or kind of like some kind of dream like, you know. So that reason we believe that Buddha transcended from the God realm to human realm, form of 6, especially there's a 6 tusk elephant. Then said, foresaw the family of your birth enter into the womb of Maya Devi. So this one is the Buddha. When Buddha was a descendant human realm, he had to choose the family and place. So he saw the Shakya clan. I think that time is kind of like powerful one, and he was born there. And also Shakya clan was a royal family. I think at that time royal is kind of like a count as a highest one. Then slowly all the Burman, they are rider. So they slowly they make themselves as a higher than royal, you know. So later history, and you know, when come to the client, you know, what called castes, they now say like Brahmin is the highest than a royal. Actually, originally I think royal as a at that time people think as a royal as the highest. This is not saying is they are higher or not. This doesn't matter. I'm saying it's a society what thinking, you know. So based on the what society believe. So that way I think that time maybe royal is the highest one. Why Buddha have to reborn in the highest kind of like, because he had to born somewhere that people respect, you know, trustworthy or respectable family. If he born as a really like a low caste or something, I don't think so that much benefit can gain, because the people are not going to see us that way, you know. I mean, that is human nature. For us, you know, population, whatever is called, that is important. Yeah, what not popularity. Yeah, popularity is really important for us. You know, somebody is a really popular one, even sign, you pay lots of money. If ordinary one sign, you not even don't want that. So I think popularity is causing the, you know, this difference. So that reason Buddha have to choose somewhere to have a respectful and popular one. So that reason he chose as a Shakya clan, as a royal family. And said, homage to you, Princess Shakya, born after the 10th month. This one is have a some saying actually Buddha stay in the womb 12 months. why I say the 10th month is the 10th month is because sometimes Chu as a abbreviate of the of the other number rest number is kind of like including there, like this 12 sub praise itself. Lots of time you see the 10 praise because we Tibetan use as a zechu zebachu 10 different kind of Buddha's what got deed, but actually it's a short abbreviate, so that way it becomes. So some saying is there's one Drupal Pemagabo. He said his history said Buddha stay under the womb, in the womb 12 months. And there's one disciple said reason is a Buddha need more physically, growth in the womb, because Buddha have to have a complete major and minor marks. Those reason is a reason of that major and minor mark completion of the, develop. So that way he have to stay in the womb longer than ordinary human beings. So ordinary one is like 9 months, yeah. Some stay 10 months, but the Buddha stay 12 months. So that reason, so sometime in the Vasak month is also including to the entry into the womb as a including on that day. So that reason, there some saying is maybe 12 months. Said where Burma in the review you as a spacious luminous growth, and your supreme mark proving you were descendant to be enlightened. So this one is I'm not really sure exactly Burma and Indra reviewed you. I'm not sure, but historically, King Shuddhatatana, his Buddha's father, have a friend, old friend, but he was a really great sage, meditating in the Himalaya. Then when Buddha born, Siddhartha born, he had to come because he saw the sign. He had to come to see the boy. Then when they saw the boy and he was crying, the sage was crying, really, you're really what called a holy sage, and he was crying. Then king asked, did you see something wrong with my son? And sage said, no, nothing. I'm just crying because I'm sad. Because when he become a complete enlightenment, and I will be no longer here. So I have no chance to receive his teachings. I'm sad for that. And king said, no, my son never become, a monk. He have to be Kshatri. Kshatri means the fighter, a warrior. So he never agreed with that. Then that Brahmin said he become Buddha. He become a sage. He not going to stay home. So that is what say by seeing his sign from the physical body, because there's a universal monarch and Buddha have a similar sign, like a whale on the palm and those lots of signs. Similarly, different is a universal monarch sign is much deeper. I mean, the Buddha's sign is much deeper and more on the right place. Universal monarch sign is not that deep, not that clear, and also sometimes not necessarily on the right place. That is different. So that way, because they see the Buddha's sign, palm, and many things, then this sage said he become a Buddha. So that is what is mean here. Descend to be enlightened. Now, next one. Homage to you, lion among the men in your youthful vigor, displaying your prowess. The game of Agmagata, game at the Agat and Magat. So this one is a mistake. Agat the Magat is basically talking about the Varanasi and Bodh Gaya area. Buddha wasn't grow there. Buddha was grow up in the Kapilavastu, in the Lumbini area. So that's a different place. So that was mistake. So Buddha was grown up in his youthful training, and everything is trained in the Kapilavastu. So that way, some saying this shouldn't be Nagarjuna, because Nagarjuna are not going to make this kind of mistake. So this is happen. So he trained all those art, like all the Indian earlier royal kids. They have to really train those all skills, language, art. Fighting, everything have to be perfect. So then they have a competition. In the competition, nobody couldn't defeat the Buddha. That way. And also there's one, I saw the recently the movie, what they did is they what called the archery. Then they let the bird fly and the shooting. So Buddha doesn't want to do that one because he said it's harming innocent animals. So what are you going to do? And Buddha said, pick up from the Devadatt's jewelry one pearl, and throw. Ask him, Devadatta, you can throw high as you want in the space. Then Buddha shot. Then when that pearl is land, it becomes split too. He said that is his skill. So that kind of skill show up, but still with the compassion. Homage to you who are the completely worldly convention and avoid all the misdeed. Took the queen and the courtiers, and by acting with such skillful means, so you rule the kingdom. This one is one thing is why Buddha got married at the beginning. Reason is Buddha tried to avoiding to the criticism on us when follower. So it may say, oh, your teacher is why he become a monk, because he cannot enjoy the pleasure of the consort, and he is not capable to make the baby. That way he was really what called ashamed of being there. So that way he ran away. People may say things like that. So those reason he married, he had a son, all reason is that one. So because the in the future criticism is avoiding that kind of criticism. So that way Buddha got married. And also when he was a prince, there's many time he used his skill to not need to get a war with the neighbor kingdom. Without war, he solved the problem. So that kind of great skill as he showed when he was staying in the royal family. Homage to you who saw the samsara as a holy futile? Huh? Futile. Okay. Renounce the life of the householder and travel through the sky. Ordain yourself before the Vishuddha stupa. So this is a Tibetan history say, because the king, he doesn't want Buddha to become a monk, he made a really beautiful palace, kind of like kind of like also that palace is like a prison. It's a really high wall around the palace. So nobody, all the sick one and destitute one cannot come in, and Buddha doesn't have to go out to see those. So he built the high wall and would put a guard. So that way Buddha, even he won't go out without the king's permission, he couldn't go out. So that way, then when that night is when he was leaving, and our history say his horse flew up, then crossed the wall and land, and then there's one stupa far from his hometown to that stupa area. And he landed there, and he cut his all hair himself, and all the jewelry, clothes, everything sent back to his chana. His now it's a driver, chariot, chariot. So send with him to all the jewelry and clothes, and so that is basically here. So this stupa, as a saying, is Actually, Buddha Kashypa's time built and blessed by the Buddha Kashyapa. That's stupa. So that way, I mean, before Buddha stupa is already there, you know. Homage to you who intend on persevering until enlightened for 6 years, practice austerity on the bank of the Nirajana and taking diligent to the ultimate perfection, attain the supreme samadhi. So this after Buddha left, then he went to many. Actually received many teaching from the many different teachers around that area. Pretty much he learned everything from those different teachers in that areas. You know, who have a group leading to that people to learning the spiritual path. There's a many different. So he pretty much masters all of them. And when teacher said, I cannot guide you further than this, then he left. So each place he did that one. Then finally, then he went to the bank, river bank is called the Nirjana. It's near Bodh Gaya. And he said he did there 6 years really hardship practice. Like first 2 years, he only ate three kind of olive fruit, three fruit of the day, 3 drops of water for day. And then next 2 years, two fruit and 2 drops for day. And then last 2 years, I say it's a one fruit. So that way he survived. He not died because he took those, but not like it. So that way then he become like a skeleton. Some people thought he is a ghost. Some people thought he is a human or so even like have a fear of seeing him that much. He become skinny that, but then Buddha saw that is I mean from that to he definitely achieved the great samadhi by meditating 6 years, so but he saw that is too extreme of a ascetic also not good. Reason is physically, if physically have no energy and what called the uh, 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 healthy, their mind is cannot be functioned. So mind really need physical support to meditation. So that reason, even Buddha did the 6 years ascetic meditation, it not gain that much awareness of the realization. But by that great samadhi achievement is definitely come from that. Homage to you who seeking seeking to make meaningful all your effort made throughout beginningless time, said unmoving in the Vaja posture beneath the Bodhi tree in the Magadha and awakening into the true Buddhahood, attaining perfect enlightenment. So after that, then Buddha stand up from there and took bath and took the really raw food. Yeah. So that time there's a 5 monk meditating with the Buddha. So they said, oh, we thought you could be a really good practitioner, or you are spoiled boy, couldn't handle this ascetic practice. So you broke your commitment. So the person like you who couldn't keep the commitment, we're not going to stay with you too long, no longer. So we want to go away from you. So those all 5 months went back away from Buddha. So Buddha alone. So Buddha walked from that river, and Sujata, she saw Buddha, so weak one. And there's a long story, but she offered him the yogurt, oh no, what called the rice pudding, and they have a really nutrition, and Buddha gained the what called the energy. So then there's one buffalo boy. He's Tibetan. We call that Tashi. There's one Sanskrit name, but I forgot. He was carrying the kusha grass for the feed the buffalo. Then Buddha said, "Please offer me this kusha grass. So I'm going to be meditate, and when I did complete enlightened, I will share you my wisdom." So he offered happily, and Buddha put the kusha grass under the Buddha tree. Then right now we call the Buddha Gaya. You see the behind the stupa, and there's a Buddha tree. From the Buddha tree, you see the one place that's called the Vajrasana, Vajra seat. That and Buddha sit there. So also one reason is that seat is a Vajrasana seat that pass other Buddha sit on there to become enlightened. Another reason is also Buddha tree is a much cooler than other tree, much cooler under Buddha tree than other tree. That's why Buddha chose, because Magat is really hot in summer. Then homage to you who has a compassion and gaze upon one's upon living being, the trained will of the Dharma, scared place like Varanasi, secret place like Varanasi, established the dispel in the three vehicles. So, so after Buddha completely enlightened, now he need to share his wisdom. That's the main purpose, But then he was seeking some suitable vessel, because if you just give to randomly, not necessarily going to understand. So he need to find someone who can really understand. So when he was searching those older, his teacher, earlier teacher, he was asking, and they all passed away. None of them survived when Buddha become enlightened. Then Buddha only remained as those 5 monks who left him, who were practicing with him but left him. So then Buddha went to Varanasi from Bodh Gaya too. So that there's a lot of history story. So basically it took many reasons. There are many other reasons. Took 49 days from the complete enlightenment to first will of Dharma. So when he reached the Varanasi, and then Buddha was coming, those 5 monks saw, and they said they made commitment to themselves. They said, okay, this spoiled boy is coming again to us. If he want to sit next to us, this is okay. Let we sit him, but we're not going to show him respect. We're not going to welcome him. We're not going to serve him as a before, But then when Buddha come near, they couldn't handle that, his power. And everyone stood up, asking him how he held, and offering him a seed, offering him a water, things like that. And so that's because of the Buddha's power couldn't do. Then Buddha gave them teaching. So they asked him to like ordinary way to set up them mean that just basically ordinary way of asking how are you. Then Buddha said, now I'm no longer the ordinary person. I'm achieved the complete, awakening. So I'm, enlightened one. So Buddha proclaimed that one to them, and they also saw the kind of like aura, like aura, yeah. And so that they couldn't. Then they start requesting, teaching. So the Buddha gave first teaching is in the Varanasi. Actually, not Varanasi. It's a Sarnath. Varanasi is one of the oldest ancient city in India. Sarnath is from Varanasi to maybe like I think maybe 20 miles, 15 miles, some distance. It's not Varanasi. So this text said Varanasi. It's not the Varanasi. It's Sarnath.
Así que fue un error de este texto.
Homage to you who destroy the evil-minded opinion of the defeating of the 6th teacher of the Titik and the Devadatta of the rest, as well as Mara and the land of the Komaji. You are the mighty sage, victorious the battle. So this is basically talking about the Buddha have when Buddha was under Buddha tree, Mara comes, try to destroy him with the ignorance, attachment, aversions, 3-way. Buddha defeat them, with the antidote. Ignorant, he used wisdom. Attachment, he used the meditation on the ugliness. And angry and aversion, when he battled with the Mara's army, he meditated on the compassion. So that way they couldn't harm him. Also, Devadatta many times tried to harm Buddha, to give him poison, throw him a rock, the big rock throw on Buddha. And there many times Devadatta tried to kill Buddha, harm Buddha, couldn't. So those are mainly, I think this is talking about in here. Then the homage to you that perform the great miracle unmatched in their splendor in their three realm, and throughout the offering are made by the God, human, and other beings, cause of the teaching, the proprietor increase, prosperity increase. So this one is have to match with the last one. Last one says that defeating the sixth teacher of the diptych. Actually, that one is the next one story is. So there's a sixth teacher in the Sharavasti area, non-Buddhists. They used to be really popular. Once a Buddha come and their devoter is a decline, and they slowly join into the Buddha. So they get really upset. They sponsor people are who follow what they are not really following them, and they kind of making the rumor say, "Oh, Buddha is just on a big mouth. He know nothing. He have no special power, anything. So if he is really something is a spiritual, powerful, then we want to competition with the miracle power with him. So then Buddha not pay attention because Buddha doesn't believe that showing the miracle. Because in the Buddha himself said, when you show the miracle, people will follow to you, not the Dharma. Then that is the start of causing to the degenerating the Dharma. So that way Buddha never show up a miracle. Then they making lots of rumor. Then many devoter of the Buddha request them, to Buddha, please do something. And Buddha said, okay, I will accept their competition. So that is in the Tibetan lunar calendar. Is the first month is called the miracle month. So each month, each day, Buddha show one miracle. So first, like 5-6 days, they show up, try to show their miracle too. 5-6 days, those six teachers of the non-Buddhists. After that, they run away because they couldn't compete with Buddha. But Buddha did continually. First 6 days. No, first I think 7 or 8 days, Buddha showed the miracle power is a worldly being can understand. After that, then even the worldly being cannot understand. So there's a 15 different type of a miracle power. Like first one king, what called this Bibisar offer Buddha. So offer lunch, and Buddha just toothpick, clean his toothpick, he put on the ground. Immediately it becomes a so big tree with lots of fruit. That is miracle power. And the second day, there's called the Udiyana king. When they offer, after meal, he wash his mouth and throw the wash mouth water, it become a lake. So that kind of miracle power he show 15 days. So that is it talking about here. Then homage to you to spore, how to say? Spore, kind of like encourage, yeah? Okay, spur to the lazy one to the Dharma, let your body through the immortal like a Vajra and pass into the parinirvana is the pure above the Kushinagar. So, about the Kushinagar. So, Buddha's body is actually immortal like a Vajra. Vajra means indestructible. This is when Devadatta and his friend try to harm Buddha. One time they invite Buddha lunch, and on the road they make big fire, what called that, under the ground, big fire, and make look like a road. When Buddha step, he will be burned there. They make that plain. So that day Buddha said to the old disciple, only Arhat join with me. Not ordinary come with me. So then they went, and when Buddha stepped on that fire, it become a lotus lake. Then when they Buddha got to the Devadatta's friend's house, and actually food was poisoned. So Buddha and all the Arhat enjoyed that food, but the poison couldn't kill. So that is what it means the immortal. Mean that the ordinary people can be die from situation couldn't kill the Buddha. Even Buddha have that kind of a body can achieve. Yeah, still he passed Mahaparinirvana. It means that he died. Why? Because he need to show us even that someone like Buddha have to die. No matter how strong, no matter how skillful, no matter how healthy you are, one day have to die. There no choice, no other choice. So the reason Buddha show up, he died in the Kushinagar. So said pure abode of Kushinagar. I think there's history. Some saying it's a Kushinagar was one time kingdom of one universal monarch, really popular one, a long time ago. That's it. So that way it's kind of like that land is a really kind of a blessed one. But Buddha's time actually is a really simple place. Only few family around that area, and not really famous. So actually Ananda requests to Buddha, please take Mahabari Nirvana place that is more like everybody knows, some kind of like a famous place. So Buddha said, no, I have to go to Kushinagar. Also Tsunda was there. Tsunda is there too. There's one last disciple. So Buddha chose Kushinagar as one way. It's a symbol. It's just a kind of forest, and there are lots of flowers. I think beautiful at that time. And so that reason Buddha chose as a Kushinagar. Then Buddha passed Mahaparinirvana. He said that when Buddha was passing, he said, point his head, bed, make it the bed, make it head as a north. So some saying say, why have to make the head as a north? So some said because of our cosmetic of the system of the world system, is the center is called the Mount Meru, is the center of all the element. So Mount Meru is a north of our place. From this Jambudvipa, north direction is the Mount Meru. So energy of all the element power is in the Mount Meru. That way Buddha head is pointed as a Mount Meru. And some saying is Buddha really loved to see in sunset. So that way he faced the north. So I don't know. There's some reasons. Chanchu sem cho Rinpoche ma je pa na je jo che le pa nyam ba mem ba ya Kone kondo pe wo yo tata konde tham je je tu sundo sabada yebe jewe zawat tata se je ta je nyundo lana mamba yanda ba so pe janjo rambo je thoba jo je shija ko se kunjen che je tende ne la wando de gon ba rin jen be je temba se de shedo thosan gomben zen jo ji